This system means that you just need to build one set of cameras, and you get to use that set of cameras on both the back and the front of the phone. And that makes it such a good selfie camera that this 2019 phone is still like better than my iPhone 16 Pro Max from 2025. Doing the camera like this also erased the need for a selfie camera on the front, making this phone completely notchless, which Samsung was so proud of that they even named this the new Infinity display technology. It's pretty clear why, from 2019 to 2021, motorized camera systems exploded in popularity, very quickly becoming a standard expected smartphone feature. They were building and building in traction, and then suddenly they stopped. Motorized camera systems are actually, generally, a pretty bad idea. But why? Well, moving parts equals less protection from the elements. Like, there's just so much more room for stuff to get inside. There's more things that can break. And actually, as a very good demonstration of this, we bought this phone refurbished. And you can see when the camera flips around that it's not actually flipping to the completely flat state like it's supposed to. It's very slightly slanted up. The whole thing adds waiting time. You know, it's cool the first 100 times you do it, but after that, you are just adding an extra 2 seconds every time you want to use the thing. The mechanism for this movement in itself takes up space, which companies have now realized that people would rather spend on just having bigger batteries. But I think the single most important thing, a mechanism like this one that flips the whole set of cameras gets harder and harder to pull off the bigger the cameras that you're trying to flip are. And so if you actually wanted to keep up with the camera quality of other phones, you can't realistically even pull this off. So, a pretty cool case study of an idea that you can see why Samsung wanted to try, but you can also see why Samsung decided that it needed to die. So how do you get stranger than a phone that can change its camera? Well, a phone that can change everything. This is the LG G5, which, while still not actually the strangest LG phone in this video, is still pretty odd, because this is one of the first proper attempts at a modular smartphone. Which means this is kind of like a piece of Lego. Just to be clear, I have just pulled off the bottom third of this phone. This is charging port, this is speakers, this is battery. If I just want the battery, how we got that? And I can even put that battery into a different style of base. So I could stick it into the Bang & Olufsen Hi-Fi module, which adds a headphone jack and a 32-bit DAC that upscales any audio going to it. Or I stick it into the camera grip, like so. That slots back into the phone, and suddenly my smartphone has a 2-stage shutter button, a zoom dial over here, and a built-in grip for my hand, and an extra 50% battery capacity, which is pretty sick. In a lot of ways, this modularity conversation is exactly the same as the motorized and rotating cameras conversation.